Whoo, long time no talk. What's good with you people? It's Viola. I am back with another banger, okay? I'm not going to do the usual intro, but let's just get straight to the point with it, alright? Now, on the title of this video and the thumbnail, you guys should have saw it by now, I am going to discuss the possibility of whether 2K will invent a 2K23 Prelude or not. Before we dive into this video, I just want to say I have been busy throughout these past 11 days. I'm just going to tell you right now, so therefore you guys haven't been getting that much content from me ever since Season 7 dropped. But now, since we're in June, whew, imagine the type of content I'm going to post. Oh my goodness, it's crazy. But guess what? I have another video I'm working on right now, but that's going to be a surprise, so stay tuned. I'm not going to tell you what it is, so you're going to have to wait on that. But for right now, for this day in June, this is the first video I'm dropping. So with that being said, let's just hop right in. Oh yeah, and one more thing. For those of you that clicked on this video and expected this to be a build video of some sort, that's a good joke. No, this is me talking about 2K23 in good old fashion, but this time discussing about the possibility of a prelude, because let's be honest here, okay? Let's keep it a bean. When was the last 2K prelude we got? Oh yeah, back in 2K19. That was back around the time when 2K was starting to improve themselves after that garbage known as NBA 2K18 that we all know today. However, before that, we was given our first demo of a sort, or prelude as they would call it, back then on, you guessed it, NBA 2K17, which was indeed my personal favorite game of last gen, in my opinion, okay? There's no doubt about it. Now, when it comes to these preludes, right, NBA 2K17's prelude, per se, the prelude was released a week prior ahead of the game's release, okay? Before 2K17 actually came out. Before that, the prelude itself was released a week before the actual game. I think it was on September the 9th of 2016, if I remember correctly. Yes, September the 9th of that year, before 2K17 came out, we got the prelude, okay? Now, we all know us 2K players have been super familiar with my career for a very long time. However, nowadays it's become so irrelevant due to the fact that the game takes the fun out of it. My career has become so boring at this point, when it comes to badge grinding at least. But yeah, other than that, no, we're not playing my career. We're just gonna go ahead and just straight up play Park or any other mode besides my career. However, back at the time, like I said, around the 2K17 prelude days. And you know, the thing about these 2K preludes is that each game has their own concept for these demos. Like, for example, in NBA 2K17, you can actually make your own player, your own archetype build, and not only that, you can actually choose any college of your preference. You can go straight into college without having to go to a certain high school game or two. Like in 2K16 back in the day, you can actually go straight into college, win a national championship, and see if your player can get drafted into the NBA. And I personally thought this was a great concept, you know, into actually knowing the game, knowing what to expect with my career. As soon as the game actually comes out the next week, then we have 2K18. Keep this in mind, this was around the time when 2K introduced us to a new park, also known as the neighborhood or the playground, whatever. This was a new idea that 2K made to give us a whole new park, a brand new city, a breath of fresh air around the time before the game came out. So therefore, that got us players, myself included, actually hyped for the game to drop, because we low-key needed a new park, okay? We're super tired of seeing the same duplicate parks in a day and night transition, okay? We were sick of that. Now, the prelude comes out. This is a different concept. They have the same method, but a different concept. This time around, they took us out from the college courts and they put us right into the streets where the playground is, the new neighborhood, as they would call it, the new park, okay? Along with the prelude, 2K will actually give us a chance to try out this new playground, to see if it's different, to see if it's laggy or not, just to see how it feels, okay? Now, the concept, however, is a bit different. Like I said, you play these couple of short playground games, you play the 5v5 court, then you head into team practice, and then you have to wait for an agent to call you to see whether or not you're going to make it into an NBA team because you were undrafted and you were a retired DJ for some reason. Like, what? I don't get the concept. I just don't get the story, okay? Now, it may sound stupid to most people, but me, I just don't get it. Now, moving on to 2K19, of course, they had you go into an overseas Chinese basketball league, and then the next couple of days afterwards, you had to play these couple of games in the Chinese league, and then you go into the G League, and then apparently, I believe you get to play with the Spurs for like that one short game at the very end of the prelude, and then even though it wouldn't show you the draft, you just go into LA. That's pretty much it. But now, look, I don't have time to go deeper into these concepts. We're going to focus on the future, which is NBA 2K23 and their own prelude. Possibly, if they can make one. Now, if 2K had another chance to make a prelude, this is obviously what I would have wanted for them to put in the game. So, for example, we need a better story, okay? Now, these previous concepts, like I mentioned already, these so-called short stories for these preludes in the past, they weren't bad at first, but like the more you play these games, the more you play the prelude over and over again, the story over time could get super forgettable. It makes me want to question, what was the point of having this story? What was the point of this? What was the point of that? Like, what is the big idea? What was the purpose of having us to play as a retired DJ now want to be basketball player in these streets? Or what was the point from going through the Chinese league over to the G League and then going to the NBA? Like, I don't get the story. I don't know why these stories were so existent. I don't know why 2K thought these stories would be a good idea to begin with. But with that being said, I want this story to be cohesive as possible. I want 2K to have not only an Oscar award-winning storyline, even though they should save that for the main game, but for a demo though, I want the story to make some sense. I want this story to have a purpose or two for it to be existent, okay? I want the story to have a lot of purpose from beginning to end. So therefore, they should work on the story. The next thing they ought to work on is the gameplay. I want to see gameplay improvements from beginning to end. When it comes to having an NBA 2K Prelude to be played, I want to see some gameplay improvements as soon as I start playing the game, okay? If I play the Prelude, I want to play what so happens to be a real basketball game. So therefore, I want 2K23 to improve their gameplay, or else I'm not playing it, okay? When it comes to having your Prelude, that determines to me whether or not I should get the game on release day, alright? So therefore, the gameplay should be improved, the story should be improved. The last thing I will want for this prelude to be is more than just a my player builder, okay? There has got to be more than one thing to do in the prelude. Not just make a player and then go into a single NBA game and be through with it. No, there has to be some prelude or prologue to a my career story one way or another, alright? So all that leads me to asking, can 2K make another prelude? We should see. But anyway, hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe for more content if you're new to the channel. Turn on post notifications. It's been Viral. I'm Yarn.